This is episode 5 of the Morebegsden. Hello everyone, welcome to episode 5 of the Morebegsden. Episode 5, woohoo! And I'm your host, Phil Spillane. Yet again, we seem to be shooting the podcast, honestly, in different locations. And this location is very exciting because myself and my guest, Olha, decided to shoot it from the floor of my house. So we have the mics propped up on shoes. And I'm on top of a sleeping bag. She's on top of a pillow. Say hello, Ola. Welcome to the Morebegsden.
Hello.
How are you doing?
Good. I've never seen shoes on the microphone.
To hold up a microphone. I know. It was kind of improv, and I don't have proper mic stands, so they're kind of leaning in towards us. So this is how artsy we are.
That's very interesting.
So yeah, like in the Morebegsden, we chat about art, we chat about inspiration, we chat about literature and mythology and speculation and science fiction as well. We chatted about that in our previous episode. And to start off this episode, I thought it'd be a great idea to have a quote from Frida Kahlo, the famous Mexican surrealist, which is a huge inspiration for a lot of artists, a lot of interesting people. And when I heard this quote, I actually thought of you, Ola. She said, "I used to think I was the strangest person in the world. But then I thought, there are so many people in the world. There must be someone who just feels as bizarre and flawed in the same ways I do. I would imagine her and imagine that she must be out there thinking of me too. Well, I hope that if you are out there and read this and know that, yes, it's true, I'm here and I'm just as strange as you." What do you think?
That's nice, and that speaks to me. And I like Frida. And yes, we are always looking for someone who is weird and strange and crazy and normal, like you, like we are, but a bit different. And unfortunately, I haven't seen Frida's painting. But when I first visited Spain,
You haven't seen him in real life?
yeah,
Go on.
I've seen her portrait.
Oh,
Like for me, it was like I was in Spain for the first time. I went to the hotel, and the first person who I met, like for me, was Frida. It was her portrait in the hotel. It was so nice for me.
it's incredible.
It was very nice, like, someone welcomes you in Spain.
I know.
And I have a selfie with that portrait.
Oh,
Of
cool.
course.
Man, mad, you're right next to Frida. You and her, selfie.
Yeah.
Do you like art as well in general, like surrealist paintings and such?
Yeah, of course I like Salvador Dali, Matisse, and Van Gogh.
Oh yeah, because
Yeah.
we call him Van Gogh here,
Yeah.
or Van Gogh.
Yeah.
That's what they call him over in the Dutch. That's what they call
My
him.
pronunciation is Ukrainian English.
Oh, same with English. even though we say we're Irish, it's English. But yeah, and of course, like Frida's colors as well, the amount of colors and stuff like that. What do you think of her view of like artists are crazy? Is that reassuring to think that there's other crazy artists out there? Does that make you feel more grounded and reassures you what you're doing? It's not so crazy after all. Like sometimes we look at the stuff we make and you go, God, that's too out there. That's mad. but does it reassure you to know that there are other mad artists out there that are doing maybe the same thing you're doing?
Yes, I think that artists are a bit crazy, but like the world is a bit crazy, so we are just documenting the things that happened, and sometimes we don't see that, and sometimes we see something like it's for me life is magical, and sometimes when we go to work or somewhere we lost this feeling, and art is that help us to remind about this magic of life.
Ooh, the magic of life.
For me, it feels like this. Yeah,
Yeah,
we live in this magic, but sometimes we forget about this.
that's true.
Yeah.
That's very true. Maybe I should mention that I'm filming this in my house and there are going to be crazy noises around here as well. So if you hear crazy noises in the background, maybe just take that as we're crazy people, crazy artists. Are you crazy?
Of course I am, because like I think all people are a bit crazy, but artists are that kind of people that just allow themselves to be crazy, because to make good art you need to be deep in that magical world that is actually real.
Just allow yourself to go against the norm.
Yeah, yeah, just to be free in that and to feel everything you feel, to listen to the world space.
The magical space.
Yeah.
We
Everything comes from there. You just need to catch the idea and then to work on that idea to improve and to bring something new to the world.
Nice. And Frida definitely brought that in her art. She definitely had she was plucking some things out of thin air and warping them together. Her art is full of colours and full of nature. And she definitely was an inspiration for a lot of people. Do you have any inspiring figures that kind of think that plucked things out of thin air and put it into their art? Who's your go-to artists that did that for you?
You mean only artists, like
Any artist out, writer, poet.
not an easy question.
It's not an easy question, and
for me, of course, it would be Ukrainian poets, and especially now I'm learning more about our generation of executed Renaissance.
executed Renaissance. What do you mean by that?
Yes, they lived 100 years ago, 1920s, 30s, and most of them were executed by Soviet regime. And they were really a great group of artists, writers, playwrights. And I'm trying to read more. It's an inspiration for me, like Kurbas, Mykhail Semenko. They are Ukrainians.
Wow.
That inspire me now, yeah.
And what sort of pieces did they write? Did they write like historical or surrealist, or where would you place them? Or saturnist?
Kurbas was a playwright and theater director and philosopher and translator. Just a great person. I'm trying to read his work, Philosophy of Theater, and he was actually an actor. He was making theater and writing about theater. He was everything in theater. And Mykhail Semenko is a poet. It's like contemporary futuristic poems he wrote.
Futuristic?
Yeah.
Wow.
It was something new at that time in Ukraine. So for me, it's very inspiring and interesting.
What do you mean futuristic now? Was he like predicting something about Ukraine, or was he predicting a better future, or what?
No, it was just like a style, a bit different, more contemporary.
Oh, do you mean like he was trying new style of poetry.
Yeah.
He wasn't
yeah.
actually writing the
Yeah.
future.
Yes.
Wasn't like science.
Like his different poems, like more lyrical, but like it at that time it was very different from other
Gotcha.
poets. Like
Gotcha. So he was changing the style
it
of
was
Ukrainian
like
poetry.
avant-garde, Ukrainian avant-garde. Yes.
Avant-garde. Now I gotcha. Yeah. So
Yeah.
no less. So audience, not poems about the future, but avant-garde poetry. Gotcha.
Cut me.
It's a bit of fun. No. I'm afraid I don't know much of Ukrainian art out there, and it's fascinating to hear art from different countries and a completely different end of Europe. Like usually what we hear over here in Ireland is mostly influenced by West Europe, obviously, because it's where we are in Europe. But it's also fascinating to hear what goes on in East Europe and how what your countries are inspired by. Do you notice actually, first of all, better question, how are you finding West Europe? How are you finding Ireland?
Ireland is amazing for me. Sometimes I think that like I can't believe that I live in this magical, beautiful country, and I feel a Celtic spirit.
That's good to
And
hear.
something that I've never felt in any other countries.
Do you find similarities between your home or here, or like?
I would say that maybe nature, some hills looks for me like in my hometown, because I'm from there.
Where's your hometown?
I'm from Uzhhorod. It's Transcarpathia. 80% of my region is mountains, and right in my hometown there are small hills like here in Ireland. So when I see hills, I just feel like I'm at home. But a bit different, but still hills, beautiful, green.
That's beautiful. On the way here, we saw the Galties.
Yeah.
And you're like, I want to see the hills. Get those trees out of the way.
Yeah, I just feel good when I see hills.
The mountains.
Yes. But like I like to go higher to the mountains, to go hiking sometimes. But when I see just hills around me, I feel good.
What do you feel inside? Do you feel inspired?
Yeah. I always want to go on the top of the hill and to see more, to see beautiful view. And then to go back again and to see that hill from the side.
You always get a different perspective of the world, from that height. Sometimes I feel a different perspective on the second story of a bus, because you're just up in that height and things can look very different or surreal.
Yeah.
You can get a different view of the world.
And I always think, oh my God, how could be like the nature? It's always so beautiful. These hills, like.
It's still there. It's still wild.
It's a magic for me.
But
and I feel like I'm somewhere, like inside in that beauty, in a film, in a movie.
Yeah, I can feel like that sometimes. Sometimes when hiking up a mountain, I feel like I'm in a scene from Lord of the Rings or something like that. But no, it's real. These places are real, and sure, like Lord of the Rings was based in this part of the world, so like. You can see landscapes that can match it. But in Ukraine, mountains are much taller than Ireland. Like there's technically no mountains in Ireland. There's very, very big hills, very, 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 very tall hills. But in Ukraine, there's still mountains. Do you want to? You told me like beforehand about the mountains of Ukraine. Do you want to tell everybody else if you want to?
When it was COVID, I actually moved to the Carpathian Mountains. I lived there for some time, and it was a great inspiration for me. I have some poems from that time and some drafts still unfinished, but inspired by the mountains.
That's unbelievable. Where are those mountains?
I was in Ivano-Frankivska Oblast.
So is it the north or south or east or west?
It is the western part of Ukraine, closer to the borders with many countries.
Beautiful, beautiful. And how high up is it, or how can you tell? Is it like, because I saw some pictures and it looks like it's always covered in snow.
In winter, yes, it's covered in snow. 1,600 is the highest.
Wow, that's
Yeah,
incredible.
it is. It's mountains, yes, but you need to go there. Yes, and to get inspiration.
You have to go there to understand how high up you are.
Yeah.
Were you very like remote there? You're not.
Yes, but people still live there. Like it was a little town, a small town, very small town, but still like we have shops there and hotels and everything.
Oh yeah, that was
Yes,
good. That was
yes.
good.
And you can go hiking from there, like high to the highest mountain.
Did you do a lot of hiking?
Not a lot, but I was trying.
Hiking, yeah, you do need a
Yes,
certain type of
yes.
energy or
I need-
mentality.
I need friends to go hiking. I won't go alone.
I am the same. I'm the same. It's always fun to go with friends. I've done hiking alone and done hiking with friends, and it's always two different events in my head. Hiking alone, it does feel longer. It feels way longer when you hike alone. But when you're with friends, it flies by. You're with the cracks and jokes, have a bit of banter. So it is much better with friends. Safer too, of course.
Yeah. Yeah, for me, yeah. I can go hiking like alone if it's a small hill, but if it's mountains, I need many friends.
Just have a whole party
Yes.
to go hiking.
Yes, and in Ukraine, if we go to the mountains hiking, we usually stay for at least for one night. So we need to take our tents and everything.
Okay, we don't have that here in Ireland.
Yeah, we do that. If we go, because you need a lot of time, like some time, and you want to stay at least for one night.
That's mad. No, that's definitely not something we do here in Ireland. That we know you bring a tent. Well, you could do it. But I say you have no choice but to do it in Ukraine.
But in summer, when you go hiking and stay for a night there, and then you wake up and see that beautiful sunset in the mountains, that's just amazing. That's something that you would never see in any other place.
Seriously.
When you see many other mountains like around. And it's beautiful, of course, near the sea, near the ocean.
Cool. Is Ukraine also beautiful around the coast?
Yeah, we have Black Sea in Ukraine.
Wow. What's the Black Sea like?
And I lived in Odessa some years and spent some time near the sea. Yeah. So it's nice, yes. In winter, it could be snow there, ice.
On the beach?
Yes, could be ice.
That's
and
weird.
It looks beautiful.
I've never seen ice on a beach.
Yeah.
How does that happen? What happens to the sand? Does the sand
I
get
think
replaced?
it's better to go to Iceland to see the ice actually on the beach.
You've been to Iceland?
No, but I want to go.
Yeah.
I'm close to Iceland.
Let's go to Iceland and confirm if they have snow and ice on beaches.
Yeah.
Because I actually don't believe you. This sounds like Lord of the Rings to me.
They
You
have
I
lots
think
of ice.
I think you're right, but I have to see it to believe it.
Yeah, I need to check it.
Yeah. Because in my head, I don't know. I just think sand.
Yeah, the only one thing I miss in Ireland is actually Ukrainian snow, Ukrainian winter, ice, and Ukrainian summer.
Does the Ukrainian landscape lend a lot to your writing and art?
Yes, but yeah, I have poems inspired by mountains and sea, but not so many. I need to write more. I always need to write more.
We all need to write more, of course, of
Yes.
course. When you're in that space of you find it desperate or in trouble, when you find that you do need to write, do you have any like tips or any like things to get you into the zone of
To
writing?
start writing.
Yeah.
Um, sometimes yes, like you need something, but the most important for me in writing is actually to be connected to the space, to get some ideas, like to feel that it comes to you naturally. I don't like that's like when you force yourself just to write anything, because if I write anything, I'm never happy with that.
Mm.
It could be something maybe more like for social media or something like that. But if I want to write a poem, I need to be in that magical mood to have enough time, not to be in a hurry or somewhere like in a noisy place, but to have some space for myself and some time for myself to make a poem from nothing, from that what comes to you.
To make the time.
Yes.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, or some ideas can come to you somewhere when you are, I don't know, anywhere in college, in classes, but like you don't have time to work on them, and then you forget everything.
I remember I went to a workshop there, and they said for a tip, it's not that you, well, like, yeah, you're right. Like you had to find the time, but they said you also have to make the time. You had to make the time to be inspired, make the time to write. Yeah, it's not that you find it because you can be busy all the time, but then you could practice how to make time to put aside for writing, and that's actually a skill within itself.
Mhm.
A skill to find always an hour to do some poetry. Like whenever I walk and I walk down the street and I get inspiration in my head, I take up my phone and I write it down straight away. That's making time to write. That's actually finding time and practice and doing the habit of making time. What do you think of that?
Yeah, that's very important. It's like time management, and like you need to, yes, to learn how to do that, to find that time with yourself.
Not easy. It's easier said than done.
Not easy, because for me, like it must be not just a time, but a perfect time for poetry. Like poems just come to you. You don't always choose the time. That's why I say like
Fair.
sometimes I'm busy, and like it's better if I write when they come than rather than I say like, okay, a poem waits because I'm busy. I'll write you again, because like
Wait a minute, that
later
poem.
I forget. And
Hang on, poem. Wait for a moment there. Slow down. I'm getting too much inspiration. Hang on. Hold back, poem. Go
So,
on. Sorry about that.
yes, but like it happens with me, like, and it's nice when a poetry comes to you and you have time to write it right now. It's a magic, just for me, like a pure magic.
Does it like flow? So when you're at that stage of inspiration, does it just flood out of you? And do you lock yourself away in your room and write down, or does it come in stages? Do you write in stages when you're
If
at that
it's
stage of writing?
Yeah, I like to write it safe, yes, and it comes to me, but then I still need some time for editing later, like because when it comes to you, you are like mad. Yes, you are crazy. You are too much in that, and then you need some time and some like to look at it from the side and to think about it more, like. Like you are normal, not so crazy as in that moment when it comes to you.
Do you ever like say, I like that craziness though, I want to leave that in? Do you ever go like that?
Yeah, of course I like that craziness. I just like sometimes I just pretend that I'm normal, but I'm not.
You're not?
No.
What are you then? I have something to admit. I'm crazy. I'm sorry. I just had to say that out there. I'm absolutely bonkers. What are you? Are you crazy?
Yeah, I'm sorry, but I'm crazy too. Like
I'm afraid that if you want to listen to the Morebegsden, you have to be crazy. You can't. There's no normal people to listen to the Morebegsden. You have to be some bit bonkers, and you have to be an artist. Sorry, that's just the rules.
That's,
I'm only
that
I'm only
is-
messing around.
yeah.
Don't think you can properly hear my sarcasm there to the edges of the microphone that you're listening to my show with. But no, you had to be a bit crazy.
And that's the energy and the craziness. It's something that moves you somewhere. Like, you need to be like kids. Like, they are just natural and they could be crazy. And like, that's nice. We are all exploring the world.
Kids have certainly a completely different energy that adults could potentially lose. And I definitely was a way more creative when I was a kid. I was coming up with a story every single week.
Yes, we all were creative, and we need to remember that and still to have that inner child.
Yeah, definitely the crazy inner child.
We all have them, but like we just need to do something.
Yeah, I think we need to, again, like what I said about time, is it's like we had to practice it. It's like learning a language we forgot.
Yeah.
I think with kids, because they don't know so much in the world, and they're only learning it for the first time, that they know, like, what if it, why isn't it this way? Oh, what if it's this way? And they can give the oddest names to things. And you have a poem for us as well. Do you want to read that out? Tell us a bit about it, and you can read it out for us. That'd be such an honor.
This poem was actually inspired by the time spent in Carpathian Mountains. We have a holiday epiphany after the Christmas time, and I got some inspiration of this about 3 candles. There was an evening. I had 3 candles. I had 3 candles. I held 3 candles. I had 3 candles and nothing more. I saw them burning. I saw night passing. There was a morning. I went out to the water. I met you from the waves. Who brought you to me? There was a day I carried a candlestick. The first candle was burning. You were silent and then disappeared. My second candle lit something in an instant. For the third one, you told me you saw me 3 times. There was an evening. We had 3 candles. We had 3 candles. We held 3 candles. 3 candles for 2 of us, and that's it. We saw in the mirrors 1 face. What else is waiting for us? Nobody would even know. The star fell down from the sky. It had been fallen as a sign. There were nights like this. We had 3 worlds. In the first, all is fire. Please go on shining. In the second, all is water, still carrying us. In the third, we are, and we guessed it all. In the third, we are, and we guessed it all. Thank you.
So in Ukraine, what writing festivals do you have, or poetry festivals did you have? Did you have like any good workshops you've been to, or have you performed? Actually, that's a better question. Have you performed in Ukraine before? Like, have you done poetry readings there?
Yes, of course. I was performing. I was sometimes organizing some little events, poetry events, because I needed them more and more. There were some like big book festivals in Lviv, or in Kiev, or in Odessa, and there were some local events. What I remember, interesting, creative concept of the poetry festival in my hometown in Uzhgorod, and it was Carpathian Pegasus. The idea was that all poets were reading a poem sitting on a horse. Yes, it was very nice. It was for me first time. I never ride a horse, and it was my first time.
Were you scared?
Yes, I was. But that was really nice, and a horse was very nice, black with white star. It was amazing. I have photos and videos on my Facebook, and it's a nice memory.
So the horse was black, but it had like a white star on its forehead.
Yes.
Beautiful.
He was beautiful, and it was really nice to read a poem. And I read a poem about horses. It was interesting.
That's beautiful. Was it great fun at that festival?
Yeah, but it's local festival. It's a small town. But there were many poets, and it was very interesting for me.
Have you taken part in many of the festivals here in Ireland?
Dublin Book Festival.
Wow.
Poetry readings, yes. And
we met at the Winter Warmer.
Winter Warmer Festival.
Yeah, that's what
in Cork, yes.
That's where we met, and we're going to do a fist bump because of Winter Warmers. We did the closed mic together.
That was nice, and that was in winter, yes.
Yes, it'll be coming up now next November. That's usually when the Winter Warmer, Ovale Winter Warmer is on. So I bet you now they're planning that right now in the works. Cork Winter Warmer 2024. Look out for it. You might see me, might see Olha. It's going to be great.
Yeah, hope to see you soon.
Yeah, I hope you see you guys, all you crazies out there. Anyway, back to something normal, less crazy. You were partaking in something last year, was that right, in Dublin, in Temple Bar, in the what was that about? I read a little bit about it on the Evening Echo to prepare for this podcast, but maybe you can fill us in a bit more. What was that experience like? You were working on with other Ukrainian artists to patchwork a huge parachute, wasn't it?
Yes, it was an amazing project. When I came to Ireland, I was looking for something creative that I could do, and different kinds of art and anything. I just wanted to get involved in something. And I found that project, it was for Ukrainians with an artist, Varvara Kaidan-Shavrova from London. She came to make that a big parachute. And the idea was very interesting because it was at the photo museum. So we needed to choose a photo, any photo that speaks to us from like our photos. So I chose my photo actually taken in Carpathian Mountains time before.
Oh, beautiful.
Yes.
How convenient.
Yes.
We just talked about it.
But that photo was taken before the war, like in 2021 or 2020. And the thing is that I'm playing a role of a fighting angel, like actually defending angel on that photos. I have a sword in my hand.
In the photo, yeah?
Yes, and I have a big wings, so that photo means for me like I'm defending my land.
Wow.
And I'm standing in Carpathian Mountains, so that feels like that gives me a power, like it's powerful, yes, for me. So I chose that photo for our project, and it was then it was printed, and we made some like handmade embroidery. We combined that with different fabrics and everything, and it was in photo museum. Yes.
Beautiful, beautiful. Yeah, you did that with 10 other artists, Ukrainian artists, and it was called In Flight on Landing, and it was shown in the Photo Museum in Dublin back in 2023 last year. Sounding beautiful, and I saw some of the photos as well, and I might share that article down below. And it's important we engage with some of the the people we have here in Ireland that are coming through our country and giving, like, one of the most exciting things about Ireland at the moment, I find, is that when I was in school, it was just full of people from Ireland. And that's fine. I love the Irish a lot. But as I got older, I saw people from all different types of colours come in and out of my life, at work, in college. And I know I'm not going to be able to travel the world. I know I'm not going to be able to see every single country. Who knows? Maybe I might, but I know I'm not. And so it's actually fun to actually meet different people of different colours come in and out of my life and inspire me and fill me in with such colour. And I see it at work, because there's lots of different types of people that visit my company and from all around the world to study in my place of work. And through the art world as well, through poetry, I meet people from all around the world like you.
Hello.
Yeah, you're from a different part of the world, and it's so exciting. And I think you're so welcome here, and you're inspiring us, and it's awesome.
Thank you. Never could imagine that I would live in this amazing country. And I was reading Irish plays when I was studying theater, and something I remember from school, but like never could imagine. But when I was choosing a country where I want to go, I thought, yes, I remember Irish literature is very good and interesting.
What Irish writers have you read up? Who you said you read some Irish literature. Can you tell us a bit about that?
At that time, I remembered something from school. Oscar Wilde, of course, Portrait of Dorian Gray.
Oh, I've yet
is
to
one
read that.
Of favorites.
Is it good?
Yes, was one of my favorites in school, but one of many favorites. Many young people like this in Ukraine.
Dorian Gray, really?
Yeah.
A lot of people
yes.
Oscar Wilde was crazy.
It was just like something, yeah. I think Samuel Beckett, Waiting for Godot, that's something that I read later. And it's actually very interesting, and I like absurdity. And I chose that then in college here in Ireland. I chose, Waiting for Godot. I chose for directing a pitch, and I chose a scene of this play. Yes. And before the university, I read Martin McDonagh.
Oh, beautiful. McDonagh.
Yeah,
Martin McDonagh.
Yeah. It's contemporary and very interesting and very Irish. And it was very interesting Irish humor and everything, and never could imagine that I would be living in Ireland. It was something for me.
Oh, so you read that before you came to Ireland?
Yes.
Wow, what a coincidence.
Yes. And we have, like, in Ukraine, in theaters, we have some of his plays in different theaters. Yeah.
Oh, did you?
He's famous in Ukraine.
Do you do his plays in Ukrainian?
Yes.
That is awesome. I didn't know McDonagh had reached that far. That's incredible.
Yes.
We often think that, we don't know how famous our artists are, how influential they are throughout the rest of Europe. I heard many people talk about Yeats and James Joyce all around the world. And it's fascinating to know how we're the land of poets, and we don't know about it until other people start talking about how they hear some of the poets here.
Yeah, but James Joyce, yes, I haven't read Ulysses, but I started, I read first sentences, but I always wanted to read that in Ukraine. And yes, we have Ulysses readings actually in Kyiv. One of the publishing houses, yes.
That's insane.
They read it in Ukrainian, yes, every year. Like
I knew
it's amazing.
They make a big deal of it in Dublin, which is fair enough. Ulysses is literally the Irish surrealist piece. It's one of the most craziest pieces I've ever heard from Irish literature. I say some more literate people that are more into Irish literature probably go, actually, Philip, there's more crazy stuff than that. But whatever I've come across, Ulysses seems to be one of the. I've tried to read it, but I just couldn't get into it. But I love The Dubliners. That's also by James Joyce, and that's really worth reading. It's little capsules of life in an Irish town, and it's very unique. It's about the side characters, not about the main. You ever watch a show and you had the protagonist, the actors in front of the screen, but what about the actors in the background? The guy wiping the bar table, the people who just come in and out, the person who's drinking his cup of tea. I feel like that's what The Dubliners are about. It's the people in the background, and what are their stories, and what are they going through, and what are they thinking. And then that's why I think that it basically invented. I arguably think that The Dubliners have defined Irish short story writing. So definitely the Dubliners have touched something with me. Have you ever came across The Dubliners?
I want to read it in Dublin.
That'd be
I
a
want to
scenic
feel
place.
like, yes, to be in Dublin, to spend some time, to move there and to read there.
Yeah,
And
it definitely has a Dublin feel to it as well. Obviously, yeah, it's about Dublin if you haven't realised. Cool. So have you had fun in the Morebegsden, sitting on the floor, drinking some herbal tea? You have a berry tea. I have peppermint. And I wish I had the berry tea though. It was all right. But did you have fun?
Yeah, it was nice and lovely and just natural, very, very comfortable. And
Are you sure you're comfortable now sitting on a pillow?
yes, sitting on a pillow and talking to the microphone.
That's on my shoe. It's
Yes.
held up, leaning towards you on my shoe. We're crazy here.
I've never seen that. It looks like artistic craziness.
That's who we are. That's who we are, man. That's who we are. Yeah. At one crazy to another, Cara Kursh has kindly let us host her song on our show. She's an amazing, beautiful musician originally from Galway, but she lives in Cork. Cara Kursh. She runs a great poetry reading. It's called Sling Slang, and that's Cara Kursh's show that she runs in Maureen's. And I'll share a link to it underneath to the next one. I don't know off the top of my head when the next Sling Slang is, but definitely I'll advertise it because it's a great poetry reading. Make sure to get there early because Maureen's space is it's a small little cozy living room space. It's very small, so make sure if you want to go to Sling Slang, get there early. But it's a beautiful reading, no microphone, and it's very cozy and there's great talent. And Cara always finds great talent in Cork, and she's very talented herself. And literally, like in Ireland at the moment, it's like someone switched a big switch, and now the weather is not sunny and springy anymore. Now it's all wintry and autumnal, very autumn. And she wanted to send in something that kind of fit that feeling, fit the season, as she said to me in the message. And her song is Be at Ease. So we're going to take a nice little listen to Be at Ease right now. Hope you enjoy.
It's the romance, the comedy, the tragedy that this all will fail to be. And as we shed our time like blossom, the silence widens behind us. So let these leaves fall, weaving circles into the dirt. Let these leaves fall, so relief can slip inside my mind and I can be build bridges just to burn them, and I love to forget. So let these leaves fall, weaving circles into the dirt. Let these leaves fall, so relief can slip inside my mind, and I can be at ease.
Welcome back. I hope you enjoyed that piece. That was beautiful. Cara's voice. Whew. She's very talented, and unique musician. And Ola, thank you very much for joining us here. You're also unique and special and crazy as well. Did you have fun talking? I think we talked a lot there.
Yes, thank you so much for inviting me. Sorry for my Ukrainian English, but yes, I have fun. It was nice to talk to you.
You sounded wonderful. You sounded great. It's great crack.
I hope you'll edit it and cut something.
I'll leave just that bit in.
Thank you.
Listen, lads, you take care. I hope you got inspired tonight. It was a very casual episode. I wanted to keep it casual, and I hope inspired you to look out for those festivals, get into a bit of Irish writing and Ukrainian writing as well. And we talked a bit about that. And take care, and hope you find some colour in your life out there, and go absolutely mad. Don't be afraid of what you write down. You can edit it later. Just write it down. If it comes out crazy, excellent. Edit it afterwards. Normalize it afterwards. I think that's the summary of this episode. Bye bye. Slán go fóill. Take care.